I think that they're a better material glove. However, if you're just getting started and you're looking for a good brand, Century's been around for a long time, and I like this glove as well.
Yeah, I think that glove does a great job, and you're looking at $35 retail, maybe $20 wholesale for this style glove. When I first started doing mixed martial arts, there was a company called Boxergenics. It was $200 for the early knuckle pad, and it really was just a small pad here, and then the rest was very soft, almost no wrist, really no wrist support at all, and it just protected the knuckles. Now, guys, let's talk about that for a quick second. If you're doing MMA and you got to wrestle and do grappling, you got to grab things. You got to grab the person's hand, right, or you grab his neck. You can't really do that with the boxing gloves. So this gives you that, but the exchange is that when you hit, they're going to feel when you're hitting them, they're going to feel pretty much everything. It's a solid hit. There's no leeway really in the glove. And even the boxing glove, and these are Hayabusa boxing gloves, there's not a lot of give, a little bit. It keeps you from getting cut. But really, you're going to get, the concussive force is there. You're going to get a head trauma if you take a full powered hit with any glove. For sure. Without proper defense and movement and so forth. But really, these protect the knuckles. That's what they do, and they do that well.
Absolutely, yeah. As far as the kind of wrist support goes, if you think about it like a shoe, this is kind of like an ankle cut kind of a shoe. It's not really going to be that wrist support like a boxing glove. Now, a boxing glove, it's got more of that ankle support there. So just kind of comparatively speaking, I think that boxing gloves gives that support there on the wrist.
It sure does. It sure does. And again, guys, they got gloves that are $200-$300. I can tell you that most people don't want to pay that. But if you do pay that, they last longer and they protect better. So Hayabusa's got some that are kind of low end. Then they've got some that are easily $200. So I'm not saying that it's always you get what you pay for, but a good company that charges more, has put more material and more time into the design of the glove, generally speaking, they're pretty good. Now, there's a ton of companies out there. Everlast is kind of an old school boxing glove company. Not my favorite company, not my favorite gloves. I don't think they're made well. I don't know if they're now made in China. They used to be great. But you really want a good glove that's not going to fall apart. Venom's not too bad, but
I like Venom.
I've had Venom, but they've kind of shredded over time. It's not a good material on the outside, and they've got just all kinds of companies. I would kind of tell you that if it's just going to be me, I could buy a pair of gloves from the Century Martial Arts Company. The Quan Martial Arts Company is pretty good. Asian World Martial Arts is pretty good. I mean, they got reasonable training gear. If you're going to fight, and you're going to want to protect that hand, and you're hitting very hard, particularly if you're a heavyweight. You want to make sure you have a good glove, and you want to make sure that you have some sort of good wrap as well. The wrap will help your hand with some more stability.
Very cool.
What else do we want to add on this? Do we want to talk a little bit more on the performance of the glove? Maybe hit the bag with it a little?
Yeah, I was thinking we could hit the bag, and then talking about the clinch as well, and the big differences between having your fingers and not having your fingers. So we'll transition to that next.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys some combinations with these Elite gloves and talking about the gable grips and clinch fighting with these gloves. Okay, here we go.
Well done. All right. Let's pause it right here, and we'll try the other glove.
All right, this is the same drill, except with the Hayabusa gloves. Okay?
Nicely done. All right, let's switch to the grappling gloves. right, friends. Well, Joel did a pretty good job hitting this bag. I tell you what, again, remember that we're doing these reviews just because we want you guys to be well-informed and smart. But also, if you like what we're doing and you like the technical work that we're doing, man, give us a like and a share. Be sure to subscribe. Let's talk a little bit about these two gloves. Actually, let me get the other one here so we'll have the same kind of look. Guys, look at the difference in the construction. You know, this is a slightly more narrow glove across here. That'll make it a faster glove, by the way. Harder to block. This is a little bit wider surface. Both have the really nice curve Joel was talking about. Both have this thumb retention here, which helps you to avoid that thumb injury. Both felt, I thought, of reasonable good construction. This one's a little stiffer than the Hayabusa, but this one has a material on the inside that will breathe, as opposed to kind of a less likely to breathe kind of material. Joel, come back this way and tell me, as far as performance, how did it feel? Try and maybe scale of 1 to 10. How did it feel when you hit the bag? Was your hand protected with the Century?
For the Elite,
the Elite.
I felt about a 7 out of a 10. I felt like I could punch decently hard. I did feel almost kind of weighed down, like the glove was a bit heavier compared to the Hayabusa. And with the Hayabusa, like you were saying with the lighter material, I almost felt like I could cut through the air a little bit faster there, and I felt like I could get my gable grip a lot easier there with the Hayabusas.
Neat. So you can make some grip, like Joel was saying, particularly around the neck for kickboxing. Both of them have some sort of pretty good retention. This is a little bit more stiff material. I'm going to walk up and show you guys. The material is slightly stiffer here without that flex in the wrist, whereas you can see that the material ends right there. So that does move a lot. And if it moves a lot, you might not have the same wrist support. So not a bad glove. This does have some padding a little bit on the hammer fist side in case you were to hit. And again, all of that is equally well padded. Both gloves, I would say, are good. I would probably say that, you know, one probably is a 7-ish, one's probably a 7.5 or maybe an 8. They're pretty comparable. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense, Joel?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Joel's going to take a minute and kind of demonstrate with the MMA gloves. Now, the big difference here is going to be in the ability to grab. So, Joel, when you're ready, sir.
Okay, cool. These are the Century MMA gloves. We've also got some Hayabusa MMA gloves. So we're trying both of those out, and we're doing the same kind of drill, punching and working on the clinch. Here we go.